In a small fog-covered town called Ravens Hollow stands an ancient burial ground, St. Ives Cemetery. Built in 1866, locals say the cemetery was cursed by its first gravedigger, Elias Ward, who performed forbidden rituals on corpses to gain immortality. Before he died, Elias vowed that anyone who disturbed the peace of his sleeping children would suffer a fate worse than death. Over the years, 5 souls, each connected by greed, lust, vanity, hunger, and arrogance, entered the cemetery at night. Each of them met a fate written long ago in Elias's curse. Every night, Jonas dug up graves behind the old St. Ives Cemetery. Stealing jewelry from the dead, he said corpses couldn't complain. One night he found a fresh grave, a young woman buried in a red dress, her coffin barely sealed. Her golden locket gleamed under the moonlight. He pried it off her neck, grinning. The ground trembled. A pale hand gripped his wrist tightly, cold as frost. Her eyes opened, glassy but aware.
"Get it down,"
she whispered. Jonas screamed, but her grip dragged him inside the coffin. The next morning, there was no fresh grave. Only an old one marked Jonas Harker, 1891 to 1919. The locket dangled from the headstone, still warm. Arthur worked as a cemetery caretaker, obsessed with a woman who had died months ago. Every night he spoke to her tomb. His obsession grew twisted. He broke open her coffin, whispering love to her decaying lips, caressing bones like silk. He promised her eternity. As he leaned to kiss her skull, her jaw unhinged and bit his lip. Blood dripping into her mouth, her chest moved, faintly breathing.
"Now we're together,"
she moaned. The next morning, police found the coffin sealed again. Inside were 2 decomposing bodies entwined. Arthur had been dead for months, buried beside her all along. Victor prided himself on perfection, making the dead look more beautiful than they ever were alive. One evening he prepared a girl's body. Her face was flawless, her lips soft. "A waste of beauty," he murmured, brushing rouge on her cheeks. He stitched her smile wider, admiring his art. But as he turned off the lights, he heard faint laughter. When he looked back, her stitched mouth was grinning wider, fresh blood leaking through the thread.
"You made me perfect,"
she whispered. The next day, the police found Victor's body on the embalming table. His face was sewn into a permanent smile, the girl's makeup brush stuck in his throat. A masterpiece, signed by the dead. Gabe was starving, living in the woods near a graveyard. He discovered that flesh, dead or alive, tasted the same once roasted. He dug up a body each week, cooking it behind tombstones. But one night he found a fresh coffin, still warm. The corpse was pale, mouth slightly open, as if asleep. He took a bite. The corpse opened its eyes, milky and furious. It sat up, choking him with rotting hands. It hissed.
"You ate me before I was gone."
A fair week later, gravediggers found 2 bodies fused together. Gabe's flesh half-eaten, his mouth frozen in a smile. On his stomach, carved in raw letters, "Bon appétit." Gabe was... And Miguel, the new night guard, laughed at ghost rumors. He believed the dead stayed dead. He heard whispers near the old mausoleum. Thinking it was kids, he shined his flashlight. No one. Footsteps echoed behind him, growing closer every time he turned away. Then he saw them. Figures crawling from graves, faces blank, eyes hollow. They whispered his name. He fired his gun. Click, no bullets. One corpse pointed to his chest.
You belong here.
So the morning guard found the flashlight still on, beside a fresh grave with Miguel's name carved on it. Security footage showed him talking alone, digging his own grave all night. As Miguel's flashlight flickers out, the camera pans over the cemetery. Every grave now bears the names of the 5 victims. Then, one by one, their hands burst from the soil, dragging themselves out to stand behind a tall, hooded figure.